So let's quickly go over what we covered in this module. So the first thing that we looked at was the application license manager. We asked the question, what is the application license manager? And we looked at the architecture of it to see exactly how it works and how it validates the license for an application that someone has purchased from the Android market. Then we went through the process of installing the license verification library, or the LVL. I showed you how to get that inside Eclipse using the AVD manager, and then I showed you how to set that up and copy it over so that we'd have a new copy of the LVL library that we could modify, and we made that into an Android library project, and then we imported that library into our protein tracker application. Then we looked at implementing a license check using the LVL. This was a more complicated process, but what we did was we set up a permission for it. Then we created a callback handler that would handle the callbacks for the license when it told us whether there was a valid license or not. And then we set up the license checker to actually use a license checking policy that Google had already provided for us. And we tested that out, and we couldn't do a real license check because we didn't have a real valid Google API key for this particular application. Then finally, we looked at how to deploy the application to the Android market. We went through setting up a developer account, and then if you already had a developer account, I showed you how to go through each one of the fields and what they meant, and so that you could set up your application for deployment. So that's all there is for the introduction to Android course. I hope you've enjoyed this and learned a lot from it. And you should now be able to create a full working Android application and deploy that application to the market, as well as securing it so that it won't be copied. In future courses, we'll cover some more complicated Android topics. Thanks for joining me.